Hello and welcome to Tea Time with me, Shaili Chopra. This episode is one of the most memorable ones that I've ever shot because it has Gary Player, the golf legend, in it. And not only have I learnt a thing or two about golf from him, but how at 76 he's a person who does 1,000 sit-ups a day. That's right, you got that right. He's a believer in nutrition, one who believes that golf teaches you more than just the right swing of things. He really tells you why hard work, non-violence, a good approach to life and just happiness is all that matters to keep yourself and your business on the course. Well, a very special guest coming up for you here on Tea Time, an exclusive.
On the show this week, an exclusive interview with golf legend Gary Player.
My dream four-ball would be Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa and Billy Graham. That would be my ideal four-ball.
In golfing news, Rory McIlroy holds off Tiger Woods at Honda Classic, rises to number 1 in world ranking.
It gives me great pleasure and it's somewhat of an honor for me for sure to bring the celebrity of the golfing fraternity, Gary Player. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you, Shelley. Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. And you've chosen a nice bright yellow on a beautiful day.
Yes.
That reflects the personality that Gary Player is, spirited always.
Well, thank you. And to visit India is very special for me because in South Africa we have almost 3 million Indians who have been great businessmen, great politicians and great sportsmen. And when I was a young man playing golf, I had a caddy called Sheikh, most wonderful gentleman, and he used to take me fishing on the beach after we played and taught me how to catch crayfish. Of course, we fish the ocean out almost now, what's going on
So
in
the
the world.
caddy taught you how to get the fish out of the water?
Yes, and we cooked them on the beach.
And the golf balls too.
Yeah, no, I never hit many balls in the water. You cannot hit balls in the water and feed 21 grandchildren.
Good point.
And 6 children.
Well, you'd say 21 grandchildren. You know, you're the granddaddy of golf, but you're 76. Mm-hmm. You're here in India. You know, people think 10 times before they take the next flight at that age.
No, I fly around the world. I've traveled probably more miles than any human being that's ever lived.
What's the secret, though?
I think the secret is to not eat a lot and to, in my opinion, to not eat animal fats. Stay away from the fats. Eat lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, lots of salad, good brown bread, no bread.
Play lots and lots of golf.
And play lots, but exercise. Keep the body moving. You see, I mean, at 76, look at that. See, I get my feet above my head. You see this? No stomach.
Oh my God.
No stomach. So you've got to keep your body in shape. Well, this is what your grandfather did. The Indians had the most wonderful way of eating. The same in Africa, their grandfather. Now they're going to the Western style of diet, which is poison.
And there were no gyms back then.
No gyms. I had to go down to the YMCA and wait for half an hour. And I've exercised now for 63 years.
But I'm told that you spend your morning doing 1,000 sit-ups. You know, it's very hard for me to believe that.
Yeah,
but
1,000 sit-ups.
1,000 sit-ups.
Yeah, 1,000 sit-ups, which takes about a second of time. And so I do that. And I work out with weights. I also work on my mind a lot. I think that's very important. The mind is something that gets weaker as you get older, probably. So you've got to keep working on your mind. And I love people, and I love my work. We've designed 300 golf courses around the world, and having the distinction and the honor of working for DLF here, Mr. Singh and his son, Mr. Singh.
He's always spoken very highly of you.
Well,
every
it's
time.
such a pleasure. And to come to India, wouldn't it be wonderful? I'd like to try and be partly responsible for developing maybe an Indian Tiger Woods. Wouldn't that be wonderful publicity for India? Wouldn't it be great for tourism? I mean, every country needs tourism.
You know, you spend all your time thinking about what next for golf. When you started out the game, nobody was really thinking about golf. People would just go out there, try their hand, as I read from Ben Hogan's own story, that he went to make some money because he needed to make money on the golf course. There was nowhere else he could get a job.
Nowhere else he could get a job. And when and they win more money today in the Masters, for example, I won the Masters 3 times and my total prize money was 80,000. Today, first prize is 1.4 million. They've all got their own jets. I used to travel 40 hours to America with 6 children and my wife, to Australia, 40 hours. Now they've got non-stop flights and most of them have got their own jets. But I loved my time because it was a time of friendliness, staying in people's homes. None of that happens today. It's a different world.
But your own destiny is a story by itself. I mean, people would call you Destiny's Child. When you went out there to start playing golf, you were nothing but just a miner's son.
Yeah, that's right.
And things were not put on a platter for you. I mean, what were the challenges? I don't even know if you ever thought about them and remembered them at that moment, because life must be about getting to the next big achievement.
My mother died when I was 8 years of age. My father worked in a gold mine, made £100 a month. My brother went to the last World War at 17. So I had to travel to school. I went to a great school called King Edward VII School. So I got a good education, but came home, nobody was in the house. So I really struggled. But struggling, well, look at this great hero of mine, Mahatma Gandhi. What an example he was, going through India in a pair of sandals and a stick and a robe, and got independence for this great country. So, you know, one has got to struggle to appreciate things. And I always vowed if I ever did well, I would raise a lot of money for underprivileged children. And we've raised approximately $35 million around the world with our Gary Player Invitational, of which we give to local areas for children.
Yes.
And because I had that experience myself.
So what was your first game of golf like? And who got you in there? I mean, who inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to go play golf and not cricket or anything else?
Well, funny enough, I got my full honours for rugby, soccer, cricket and athletics at school. But my father played golf and he said, come and play golf. I said, not for me, it's a sissy's game. And I eventually succumbed and went out and played. And I loved it so much. And thank goodness he got me playing golf, because it's enabled me to make so many friends and contribute to society, and yet become a world champion and have great pleasure and travel the world. What an education. It's a blessing.
What kind of clubs did you first pick up? I mean, I wonder, did you get them off as a gift from someone, a rusted iron or something like that?
Yeah, well, my father bought them and had an overdraft to buy them in the bank. And they were terrible clubs when I started. But I didn't know what was good and what was bad. And so I was just grateful to have clubs. And I used to go to the golf course and stand in the water, and the water was up to here, and I'd keep my head up like that, and I'd get the ball with my toe and bring it up, because I couldn't afford to buy balls.
That's
now,
right.
Today I'll go to a golf tournament. They let you have, in America, free phone calls, free cars, courtesy car to meet you at the airport, free food, free telephone calls, free clubs, free shoes. It's just something that I was...
You once paid to be a golfer, now it pays to be a golfer, I guess. It's one of those stories, isn't it? Gary Player has gone from being just a golfer to a brand, to a business, to one that sort of has a large number of people's lives associated with it, and how you're sort of growing it as a corporation. When did you think that it was time to do serious business?
Well, my son actually decided that for me, and I had Mark McCormack of IMG, was the biggest manager that ever lived. He started off handling Arnold Palmer. Can you imagine the first 3 people he signs is Arnold Palmer, Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus. He then signed the Pope.
It's like the trilogy, I know.
And then he signed Twiggy, and then he signed Pele. I mean, and this man became this massive empire.
Yeah.
And then he died, unfortunately, a very terrible death. I mean, a silly death. The lady and the dentist, where he went, didn't even have oxygen, and he gave them Valium, and he went into a state. But anyway, then my son managed my business, and he's very brand conscious. If you look at Chanel, it's dead, and it's still going on. And so our brand is the Black Knight, and that's been...
Because you are the Black Knight.
The Black Knight. I haven't got black today because I thought it would be very hot. But you have to have a brand, and this is what athletes have to do. They have to learn to market themselves. They have to learn to speak well. You have to learn to read, to strive for a good education. All these things are important. I came out as a poor boy, a young, small person out of the bush, so to speak, and became a world champion. Tiger Woods came out, became a world champion. You can never say who's going to be. It just comes out of somewhere else.